Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm in the process of challenging this fine. Peterborough City Council, anyone that follows my YouTubers, please take some observations before paying anything. I think I've got something here. So what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going along this road, right. This is like Dogswarp Road, etc. This is Dogswarp. At the end of there's Lincoln Road. So, here I am. On the highway code, what should I be doing? Should I be watching the traffic? And there's a sign here, which has only recently gone up, because I've got the cameras at one side of the road and the other, with this: School Street, no motor vehicles ahead, Monday to Friday. There's a camera there, and down here there's parking. Now, if you've got a box vehicle parked here, you're not going to see the sign, are you? And what's the probability of seeing something like that? Let's have a look at the base, shall we? Looks like it's been here quite a while. But the trees and the parking are obscuring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film this. I'm going to try and get some traffic on the street. You see, people come quite fast down this street. Right? They're in a rush. Right? As you can see, people are slowing down. They're avoiding collisions. You've got cyclists coming down here. Right? You see where I'm going with it? Stay down a little bit, shall we? I want to get some traffic and some evidence. I'm a little bit pissed off because I've been fined by the council. This guy just texted me. Well, he's got every right to text, because anyone calls me up, it's going to get done. Right? See, look at the traffic down there. Everything coming down here, busy time. It's a school street, lots of parents take their children to school and stop. Here we go here, we have parking all along here. Curbs. So ideally, that's a speed camera, right? Walking down here, right? Now we all know what this is, no pedestrian. This is a common highway code sign. I don't believe I'm technically in the wrong here, but they're going to do what they can to get the thing, aren't they? That's what they always do. Let's show you something very interesting here. Right, I'll get my book out here in a minute. Now here is, they installed a camera, haven't they? Right on that lamppost, down Armour Road, this way. Right, you have to see how young that camera is. But hey, it's a bus got in that, it's a bus wants to stop in that area. What am I going to watch? A sign or a flicking sign? What am I going to watch? Right, crossing the road. Oh, right, double yellow lines, no parking. You can't start there. Right. This to me, I normally put my hands up if I'm in the wrong, but I am so agitated here. Right. Let me just get the paper out. Show you where the demographics are. Bear with a second. Right, that's my vehicle. That's what they photographed me. That camera I just showed you has been photographed. Here we go. There. What's the blocking there? I don't think it's very clear. There's no way would these features are not there. So that's my vehicle. Right, school lane. Where's the sign to say that's school lane? Right, do they class a nursery as a school? Do they class a nursery as a school? No, it doesn't say school at all down here, does it? There's no, I can't think, there is no such thing as school or a sign down here, which would be very helpful, wouldn't it, if they had a sign. There you go. It's exactly the same thing there. I don't know why they put pillars there. I'll tell you what, I'm bloody angry. They can't, surely those blockage in the photos, they can't do you for that. Right, I'm going to walk down this street called Queen's Drive West. Peterborough citizens, be very aware of this development. I'm going to take you all the way down to the bottom of the street. And you've got to point out if those signs make sense or not. Now here is a zebra crossing sign. I know you cannot overtake on that. Down there is the zebra crossing, which means you've got to stop. This down here is a little bit contradicting. Would you actually stop on a zebra coming up to a zebra crossing? Why would you put a zebra crossing so near a junction? Why would you put a zebra crossing so near a junction? And they put double yellow lines. You can't park on double yellow lines, zebra crossing junction, and the lines. Right, here's the stop. You stop to have a look. I get that sign, I understand that. Right, stop, have a look. Right, so stop. Accept access. Hang on. So technically, if you live down the street, Queen's Drive West, how does it work when you could be a delivery driver, for heaven's sake? Let's walk down this street and have a look, because I reckon there's something very, very unclear signs here. That's a sign. Where does it say school on there? Queen's Drive West. It's a zone of 20 miles an hour. Could mean anything, couldn't it? Now come on, I'm the first person to put their hand up if I'm in the wrong with such things. But with all the contradiction going on down here, how can I be in the wrong? Where do I stand? Look, down here, this is supposed to be a school lane. Where the hell does it say school lane? Right, so walk down here a bit more. Right, residents parking only, hydrant sign. I think I know my highway code, don't you? Oh look what we got here. No parking. Oh, for heaven's sake. When you do your investigations, there you go, infant school. When they say school lane, that don't look like it's a school, does it? Infant school. Oh, do you know what? You find me on this infant school, right? I've never heard anything so absurd in my life to put a ticket. I know lots of schools. I used to live down Drybed Road in Whittlesea. There's no sort of, you know, certain times of day, but you can walk down there. Right? How is it that right, that you can't come down there certain parts of the day. There's houses here. What about people who have Amazon deliveries? Just walking down this street. How can this be, right, obvious? And let me just show you some more interesting developments. I know the speed limits, right? I'm not stupid. I've been driven for nearly over 30 years of driving. Right, there's a school down here. It's not obvious. Right, bumps are here. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to really say. There's a school down here, unless you know the street. Right, traffic lights are here. I think by the stumps these have been put in at the same time. That down there is an older lamp. Now this is where it gets a bit interesting. Right. I haven't done the other end, just done the end I've done. Right, this is where it says the zone ends. Where does it say school? Going to Park Road now, other end of Queen's Drive. There's another sign there. This is where it gets a bit interesting. They put two signs in front of one another. Everything's got to count, hasn't it? Even though I've not been done this way. Right, but look, there's a pollard there. Keep left. I know that, you know that. I know there's a school down here. Queen's Gardens. That's obvious. But where's the sign for that? Right, you're coming along here. Right? Turning point. Everyone knows it's a school down there. So, I can't see where there's a sign. Let's cross the road, shall we? This camera hasn't been done, but this kind of just gives it away a bit. See this ballard? Right? That is a new post. That's new. So what they're doing down here? I've come down here no end of times. Never been done. They think I'm paying that 35 quid, they've got another thing coming. Right, I'm crossing the road here. I'm going to see where there's any information where they say school. By the way, this one doesn't count because I didn't commit the offence here. I believe that's a give way sign. But you've got trees growing. I'm so annoyed because I've got trees growing. That's a give way sign. Don't know the area, most people don't. Oh, we've got a school here. That's a school. That's fine, that's labelled. But where's the sign? When it says school zone down there, where does it say school zone? That's a school sign. So if I technically couldn't turn there because I know that's an offence. Couldn't stop here. It's Pelican Crossing, right? Let's go to the other end. Let's make sure it's all legit. We know there's a school here, but it's not obvious there's a school down Queen's Drive West. But I've been fined for it. Right, that's the turntable. Ideally they should have a school lane down there as well, because that technically is a school lane. Queen's Gardens is a lane, it's a school, so that should be school lane. Again, same parameters, zebra crossing on a junction. I don't know where they get there. I don't know how they get away with such lack of attention to detail. I really honestly don't know how they get away with it. But can you see that I went on Google Map, those things were not there. I think this might be the end of it now, but I think we'll try and get some attention. See, there's a sign here. But if you're going to have signs out, they got to be clear. They got to be observant. Can't just put these stupid, signs up. Make the signs obvious. We're not stupid. If something like that, a blue sign says, that's Crossroads. That's this way. Right, so basically, right, I think that's an injustice done. I think I might have to pay the fine. But thank God I went on this course when I was at the leisure centre. I'll have to look at the Signs Act of, I don't know, 1989 or something like that, for clear observations of signs. I might be able to fight this. Here we go, look. Again, this one's clearer. Look, that one's clearer. Like School Street. You see down here, I didn't even know such things existed. Could I be talking myself in, but I've never ever been done. That sign looks fairly new as well. You see, this is a street light. I think this was put down in 2019. So I know how old these street lights are because I remember them being replaced. This one down here is more recent. See, that's a school. They've got a school street, no vehicles. But how would you know if that's the case? But I never committed the offence here, did I? So here is the right offence, but down there, as there was, trees, no offence. That ain't that clear. But there's a school, but Park Road, Peterborough, they've got a sign there by a bus stop. But if the bus was to stop, this is another contradictory, right? I'm finding lots. If a bus was to stop here, right, and you're here, right, would you see the sign? Would you actually see that sign if a bus was actually there? No, you wouldn't see it, would you? Again, attention to detail. Peterborough City Council or the Highway Code Office, or Highway Code, I don't know, who installs these. Like, please put your signs where people can see them, obvious. Don't put them in stupid places like on a bus stop. How can anybody see that if a bus was to stop? That is a bus lane, right? And this is one-way street, so cars have to overtake that. And of course, if people are rushing up and down here, and the other way, down here. Oh, I don't know. I think I'll end the video here.